Just going to do a quick video because there is a video of me that has been passed around the world. It's taken the writing desk I'm sitting at is a timber writing desk that I loved it. I wish I still had it. Dad gave it to me. I ended up selling it when we moved out of Surrey Hills. And it's on the red Persian rug that I had that I loved that rug too. My God. Anyway, in the past, you'll see it. So you can see me masturbating in it. Yeah, that's me, my wank picture. I'm gay. And I love that video. Someone just brought it up. I was like, oh, God, yes, I wish I could go back to those days. The word I'm using is minkya. 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 Anyone who's ever known me in the past. So anyone who actually knows me will be like, oh, yeah, but Justin speaks Italian. He's always done it since a teenager. Minkya. Minkya means fuck. It should be on every single sexual thing I've ever done. The word minkya. Fuck. Minkya, 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 minkya. So yeah. And I just thought of it just then. Something else, pin that for a second, because I've got penis photos of myself going for you. There's actually, back when, so Surrey Hills, so I lived in one of 392 Cleveland Street, Surrey Hills. There was a green bathtub. There's fabulous photos of my penis taken in that green bathtub. Skin, I used to do this thing, I'll be sending to gay guys, skin forward, skin back. I wish I still looked like that. Yeah, I wish my penis still looked like that. The damage of the last 10 years. But I'm going to pin that, bring this up and say, for some creepy reason, Brett Aikenhead, using my tablet, sent photos of me to people on social media, to Christy Child's friend, or Christy, or even mum's deadbeat. Oh look, my mother's deadbeat family. I'm so sick of them. Like the last 10 years, all this shit. Every single person that's been troublemaking turns around. It's like, oh, they know fucking Marion Mahowski or Robin Childs or Christy Childs. It's like, yeah, I can't stand them. Like if you truly knew the family, you'll be like, they're not close, are they? Your mum side's like, no. Nan tells us we have to. Oh, you're just gonna have to bite your tongue and keep the peace. Like, but we hate them. Like we absolutely fucking hate Christy Childs with a passion. She's a deadbeat drunko. Like she's like her mother. And Nan's like, just bite your tongue, keep the peace. And Nan would used to laugh and go, I never flogged her. I never flogged her hard enough. Is what, sorry, almost coughed then. Is what Nan said. And this is the true story. What I've said, what my grandfather, Reg Purdy, said about Robin Childs, that's true. In the 90s, I'm going to tell you some home secrets of these arseholes, what it was like. So, back in the 90s, there was a letter book that got passed around schools. So it was this fashion, everyone was doing it. So basically, everyone just writes notes in it and so forth. So it goes from one school to the next. It was my letter book gets passed around from like Rosary College to Peel High. So all these schools, so everybody would just write some bullshit in it. Now, this is what it was like with my mother's. This is where I hate their guts. They're fucking little cunts. Robin Childs is I wish the fucking God Denny smacked her harder. Like, she's a fucking... People think my mother's the worst. I'm like, no, Robin's the worst. Robin Childs is actually the worst out of the entire family. She's a sly, fat fucking cunt. She's Nan's bully. And her fucking junko friends. Her junky little friends. They're fucking... That's bullshit. So anyway. So... This letter books gets passed around. Okay. It was intercepted by Shane and Christy Childs at their high school. And then they took it, and then Robin's this fat fucking thing. Oh, I'm going to show Pop. I'm like, I'll call Pop. Like, apparently there's some dirty stuff written in it. I ring Pop, and he goes, oh, so I just schoolyard banter. I said, yeah. It's like boys drawing their penis and stuff. This is what Pop was saying. And he's like, he goes, get the go, fucking, you call that fucking, like your Pop was going off his head. Call her and get your fucking book back. Like Pop, I'll tell you right now, Pop hates, even resting his gate, hates Robin Childs. Hates her guts. She sits back like the junkie drunk that she is, thinks, oh, I was closest to Pa. Sitting back going, Pop hated you. Pop hates your guts, Robin Childs. Hated you in the 90s. Hated you in the year 2000 when he told me to send you Debbie. And Chrissy goes, you taking me out tonight, and that's why Pop sent me home. No, Pop hates you. Reginald George Purdy hates your guts. And always did, Robin Childs. Hated your guts. And when I rang Pop and said about his letter book, Pop was look, as soon as Mum moved from Sydney and got like the second husband and started socialising with Robin's friends, Pop had a gutful. Like he's like, oh yeah, but yeah. So that's right. What'd your mother do about it? Oh, what? Nothing. It's your book. Oh, she's not going to have it out with Robin. Like it was Sis, he used to call her. Not going to have it out with her. Oh, but she'll turn up there on the weekend, won't she? Like Pop, Reg Purdy hated Robin Childs. Hated her. And that is the truth. And I'm going back to this letter book in the 90s. Hated her guts because I actually rang Pop straight away and Pop goes, oh, that's bullshit. And the problem is, Robin is a deadbeat, drunken, drug-fucked loser and her deadbeat children are dragged up in housing commission. They're just lowies. And they were jealous of Amanda and myself always. And my grandparents couldn't stand her children. So there's been this jealous rivalry for 46 years. Okay? And we only put up with them because if we didn't, fat fucking Robin cunt used to cause trouble. Okay? And Robin is the bully. Okay? Out of all of them. Fucking Robin Childs. Hate her fucking guts. Mate, flog her, shit splatters, so stand back. And that's the truth. Hate her fucking guts. And her deadbeat friends. We had to put up with so much. He was sitting there and Nan's like, shh. I'm like, no. No, shh. Sick of fucking biting my tongue, keeping the peace. Nan used to call me every time she left the place. She goes, oh, I've had my darling sister here. I'm like, oh, what'd she say, Nan? And I'll be like, she just don't call her. Don't call her. You're just going to cause trouble. When I'm dead, don't care what you do. But until then, I want to be able to have you in my life. So if there's arguments, you know what Robin's like? She'll throw her weight around. I was like, yeah, the fat fucking cunt. That fat fucking cunt. I can't stand her fucking daughter, Christy Child. She's a good smack in the mouth. Hate her fucking guts. This is what it was like in my mother's side. Like, that's what I say to people. I was like, well, why would I? Mum's deadbeat, low-life sister moved. Like, why didn't, like, and Mum encourages, like, oh, good on you, Carol. Leave your fucking low-life scrubber and her friends back home in Housing Commission in Sydney, thanks. Why'd you have to tell them to move? Like, we had to put up with them in Tamworth. We had a good life and then they moved there. Like, seriously, and start, like, it was so embarrassing because you'd be on the bus and be like, is that your auntie's place, that green house on the hill? I'm like we see this in there. You end up getting, we get, like, sort of laughed at because we're related to them. Amanda and myself, and this is true. And we're sitting there putting our hand down. It's like, oh, yeah, that's Mum's sister. Why? What do they do now? Like, literally, they were so bad, the neighbour across the road brought her out so they wouldn't have to put up with her anymore. That was so bad. Shane and Christy Childs was so bad to live around that the neighbour across the road, which was Jeff and, what was his brother's name? Jeff and Steve's mother, across the road, they were farming people across the road from them, brought the house to buy them out so they wouldn't have to put up with her. I kid you not. That's how bad my mother's deadbeat sister and her deadbeat children were. The neighbouring house across the road brought their property, like brought them out to not have to put up with them. And we sit back and say, and then Mum used to carry. Mum's a fucking loser because Mum started socialising with all of her sister's friends. Like, as soon as, because Mum ended up going out with a deadbeat. After my dad divorced Mum went out with this deadbeat loser, or married him, her second husband. That was just like being around Mum's deadbeat sister and her friends anyway. Anyway, they just, yeah. So this whole letter book thing, yeah, Pop knew about it. And they were hanging, literally, this is how sick it is. So they've got property, stolen property of someone else because that's my letter book. So Christy Child's stolen property of someone else that they've kept for years, and they're going, oh, we're going to, hang on to this, like, as in blackmail. Like, for what? And I said to Pop, I said, oh, what stuff that we used to get up to? So talking about sex and so forth, adolescence stuff. I was like, yeah. Pop was like, yeah, you fucking march out there and get your book back. I said, no, I don't care. I don't really want it. It's just everyone's writing like stories in it and so forth. But I don't care. But this is what Robin and Shannon Christie did. And they're like, yeah, this is because, and even Nan knew as well. And they're like, this is because we're closer to you and Amanda and they're jealous. I'm like, yeah, but we still have to put up with them. That's the problem. And like, we have to put up with your scrubber. Fuck it. Oh, I had to put up with him in the last 10 years. It's like, man, Nan's dead. Like, why do you think I ended up starting resenting Nan? It's like, oh, we've got to put up with Christy Childs. Oh, let me do a Christy Childs. Low, fucking low. I Christy Childs. Hello. That's how she talks. They're losers of people. They fuck. Yo, wait. Robin Charles is these deadbeat friends like Paul and Karen O'Brien. And they used to socialise with, and then mum started jumping onto it. And it's like, why do we have to go here? These are Robin's friends. Why do we even... Like, I refuse to go. It's like, this is riveting. Like, what are they doing? Oh, they're standing around a fire, playing music, drinking. This is so... Like, this is how, like, the lifestyle changed when she moved from Sydney. Oh, riveting. So Carol's now copying Sis, is what we like. And mum's like, oh, we always have a good time with Sis. You're always laughing. I'm like, but we're laughing at her. We're not laughing with her. We're sitting back laughing at the fool. Like when we leave there going, oh my God, could you imagine being Shane and Christy? That's their mother. Like, no wonder they're so fucked up. So, yeah. And they're friends. Oh my God. Wait. The one that they call Red, Julie, who had these mentally retarded kids. And, like, she's a real fucking junkie deadbeat. It's like, yeah, your kids were mentally retarded because you're a junkie. This is who my mum's sister used to affiliate with. Or Alison Boyd. What's the other deadbeats I used to affiliate with? Like, the most, like, if you could think the scraping of the barrel. And even Nan and Pop used to say, oh, your mother never had anything to do with these people before she got with Mark Rackley and moved from Sydney. And then that was okay... We're having this discussion in Sydney. I'm at Nan's. I'm in Kerry Road. And they're talking about the Irish people. And Pop was still alive. And he goes, through his teeth, starting to get the shits. He goes, your mother keeps bringing up these people. Oh, they were such good friends of mine. Friends of mine, were they? Well, then how come since fucking Sisters moved, I haven't seen one of them? They weren't my friends. They were fucking Sisters' friends. That's what he goes. Oh, I haven't seen one of them since Sis moved. So don't say they are my friends. Your mother comes in here. I'll tell you who my friends are, Justin. And that's where, like, you're talking about the Maltese and there was the Zemet. I can't remember. Simon Zemet? I haven't fucking seen one of those people since Robin's moved. That's what Pop said. And it's like, oh, Carol, shut up. These were just deadbeats that your deadbeat sister knew, and you were tapping onto your deadbeat sister's friends. I was like, you're a fucking, like, you look like a fool. Like, our mother, and then there'll be times we're like, well, we having to go over there. And I'm like, oh, we would much prefer to be going to the cinema or out in town and doing stuff. I was like, well, why are we, like, the whole thing was always like, why are we going? Like, why are we going over there to be around these people? We sit there like bored. Like, Amanda and I was sitting there like bored the whole time. And you're watching Christy Childs as a 11-year-old getting drunk. Like, hey? Shane, you can't get a word out of it. We're like, hi, Shane. Oh, he's stoned. He's, as a 14, Chris would have been 11, he would have been out 14 or something. Like, no. Like, fucking, they're just deadbeat. Like, seriously, that's what it was like. And be like, why are we going over here? Like, it's not like it's enjoyable. Like, it's not like it's anything like what it was when we lived in Sydney. Like, you just, like, Nan and Pop's right. You changed. And what are you trying to be, like, your sister? Like, you know, you're just an idiot. Oh, it was just the most bullshit people to be around. And that's when Nan used to always say, well, they don't take after my side of the family. They're definitely like, oh, that's right. Because she goes, oh, well, what was it? Robin went to Darwin and sucked up, what was it, Pop's sister's ass. She goes, oh, that'll be right. Pop can't stand her. Val Purdy, that married Valerie Purdy. And Nan used to sit there and say, oh, because Pop never spoke to his family, never spoke to his mother, never spoke to his sisters, and Pop never wanted his daughters to turn out like his mother or his sisters. And Nan said, they goes, yeah, well, they did. They bloody well did, Reg, because they're not like my family, I can tell you now. That's what Nan say. Yeah, they all turned out like your friggin' sister. They turned out like Lillian and your sister Val. Oh, they're fucking disgusting. They're absolutely fucking disgusting. And then people say, oh, why don't you go up there? Why? Why would I, I love the fact that I have nothing to do with them. Because I only ever had to when Nan was alive. And it was always like, Jesus, and it wasn't comfortable. Christ, it wasn't fucking comfortable. You'd be like, oh, here we go. Oh, watch the drunks. So yeah. Anyway, they're deadbeat. So going back to what I was starting with this, yeah, I don't know what. There was something going on, like they were talking about the size of my penis or something. It's like, well, yeah, it shrunk fucking now after what I've gone through. I'd be a smart ass to guys and be like, well, it's just a muscle that pumps blood. So I'm unhealthy if it's not going to the size that was in my 20s. I'm like, but I am in my 40s. I've got, like, I literally could do a massive, huge production based on my penis for the last 25 years. How it's changed and gotten older. Here I am in my 20s. Here I am in my 30s. I've got videos. So this, so anyway, there is this fabulous video, and I still love it because I'm like, I just want to be back there, right there, in that, like, that healthy. When I used to go to Hisco's gym. So it's a video, and I'm sitting back. It was the timber desk that Dad gave me. Probably remember it. Show that. Do you remember this desk? I'm at the desk, and you can see my Persian red rug under my feet. That I actually gave that rug to Mum. What did she do with it? Because that was a stunning rug. I love that rug. I have to get it back. I love that actually. Because that, funny enough, where is it? Because that rug will go good here. No, I have to call Mum and see if she's still got my Persian rug. I loved it. That was absolutely fucking stunning. It cost me a fortune. Shit. Anyway, yeah, I'll have that back, thanks. Because that would go here. I only gave it to her when it wouldn't go in the I didn't have room for it in the dining room where I was in Rush Coast Bay. But I have it back here, thanks. That will go perfect where I'm currently living. Anyway, well, off subject. I'm like, look, I just looked at the dining table going, oh, fuck, that beautiful Persian rug. I'll have that back, thanks, Mum. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, absolutely stunning. So, only because a gay guy just messaged me about the my load. I'm like, oh, God, if I could blow loads like that now. Now that I'm in my 40s. Oh, God, I have had massive health issues since 2017, like besides being obese. Because 2017, I was traumatized, and I went from 70 kilos, well, even less than 70 kilos. I think I was 60 kilos in then 27 to 80 kilos in 2018. Like bang, like that. So then the sugar levels were just rushing from my body because the weight gain. And I'm like, but I'm not eating badly or poorly. Saying that after I just had carrot and almond cake just now, there was that. And then now I've 110 kilos or 109 kilos. My doctor goes, yeah, but you know, your heaviest were at 80. I'm like, no, my heaviest I was 73. You keep talking, don't talk about 2018 heaviest. Let's talk about my normal weight till I was traumatized in 2017. So the heaviest weight I've ever been was 73 kilos until the trauma of 2017. After that, my weight is increasing at a rapid rate where it's not getting any better because my health, you can hear it. Listen to my throat. Listen to my allergies. My entire body is that unhealthy because, and I'll tell you what would fix it, a legal matter. We fix it easy because what I want is the organizations that cause the trauma to be held accountable for for damages, so that way I can live my life in freedom going, well, you don't repeat that again because you've been made accountable, which means, you know, you got to, you're, basically got to be, sued or charged or something. So then therefore it's like, well, that's not going to happen again because you've been dealt with. You have to be dealt with. Like, why are they getting away with it? So yeah, I did have massive trauma in 2017. Massive trauma in 2017 that caused excessive weight gain and bad health for years since. And then being in small inside spaces don't help me. I can tell you now, I really feel like a cat in a cage in a small inside space. And no windows. You'd not believe, I looked at a place where I currently am going, fuck it, I need, there's shit going on in the last 10 years, I'm just going to take it. And then I was here not even one day and I'm unpacking going, there's no fucking windows. There's no windows. There's two doors and one window. I'm like, oh fuck me dead. I'll go off my head. I need windows. I need massive ceiling to floor windows. Where I lived in Connecticut, it was small. I was bigger than this, but it was still small. I brought it to make money, but it was ceiling to floor windows that I loved. Even if I have them, like, I would put the film, because I like to walk around naked, so I would, and that's my legal right. It's illegal for you to see me. So it's illegal for you to look into someone's window and see them in any compromising position. But it's my legal right to walk around in my toilet naked. But I would put, so that doesn't happen, you can actually get the two-way film. So there's where you put the mirrored film, so I can see out, but people can't see in, and that makes me feel comfortable because I can live my life like balls hanging out on the sofa, but I can see out the window, and people can't see in, which is comfortable because I need to see out. Like, I don't understand when people start building places and they build tiny windows or they don't build many windows. It's like, no, you've really fucked up the building. You need to have windows. And windows and large inside spaces to circulate air. In Australia, more importantly in Sydney, I'll tell you why small inside spaces don't work in Sydney. Humidity. When you live in a humid area, you have to have airflow. You need to circulate air to get rid of the humidity. So you're going to have more humidity in a small box than you are in a larger box, basically. And that science teaches that. Basically, you're going to have so much humidity that's not going to go. You've got to circulate airflow. I look at Sydney, it's like, well, you should be building places that are large inside spaces because, in Australia, you're building places with outdoors. Why do you want to be outdoors in Australia? It's a fucking Australia. Why do you want to, if you lived in a place where you've got like ocean or snow or whatever, it's like, yeah, but in Australia, why would you want to be outdoorsy? Large inside spaces and windows, ceiling to floors. I'm going to leave that because I'm getting off the subject. But ceiling to floor windows should be built in Australia. And that's it. Excuse me. Allergies. If I live on one more goddamn fucking oval, I'm going to click. That's the other thing I hate. I hate living on football ovals, parks. I hate it with a passion. That's my... like every time I look at a place, I'm like, oh, great. Look at this. See that? Hate it. Absolutely hate it with a passion. Oh, another fucking oval. Like me, if I want to go for a jog outside, like I would rather jog on a treadmill in a gym. But if I want to go for a jog, I would rather be playing squash like I used to at Hisco's gym in Crown Street, Surrey Hills, because I didn't like doing the whole step in and cardio. So my cardio was just going as a squash racket and playing. I did. Was it Kim that used to work there late at night and I didn't have to pay for the court then? There was a guy that used to work there, had long hair. God, I haven't seen him since 2009. He used to work late and I'd be like, it's for my cardio warm up and warm down. So no one was using the court. So he says, get a ball and a racket and then pay for it. He was like, no one's using it. Like, he used to go to the gym late at night. And I'd be doing cardio, was all just getting, like, by myself, hitting the racket, like hitting squash to burn all the cardio. Do gym, then burn down. But if I was doing a jog or exercising, it's through the city. Like I would go for a jog all around the financial district of New York rather than jogging around an oval. I hate nature with a passion. Can't stand it. So, all right, leave it there. I've already put enough video posts out there in the past. Look, I think the shit that's gone on the last 10 years, it honestly felt like gathering came from my mother's side. And I'm sitting back, like, okay, no, I'm going to say one thing. Deadbeat stalked my social media. And I was on the phone to that fucking loser, Christy Childs. And she's going, remember, I'm your favourite cousin. I'm like, but you're not. You're not. Like, we'll be there sniggering about fucking drunk loser Christy. It's like, no, you're not. Christy Saruni. Like, Christy Saruni, dad's, like, there's photos of myself, and I don't know them that well, and they've got their own life on dad's side now. But those photos, because that's where I was like, oh, God, people that know deadbeats on mum's side are stalking my social media. So you've got a photo of myself and Joe and Helia, and it says I'm one of my favourite cousins. And then there's a photo of myself and Christy Saruni, which is dad's sister, Aunt Linda. So Linda and Uncle Tony Pincham's daughter, Christy Saruni, and it says, oh, one of my favourite cousins, or my favourite cousin. And then you've got these idiots that have been stalking my social. I literally had, this is how fucking dumb Robin Child, she's a fucking deadbeat. People that know her were like going, oh, they don't, he's got a mental disorder. He doesn't remember Christy Childs. He's got photos on social media of him and Christy, and he's saying it's Christy Saruni. I'm like, literally, this was going on in 2017, 2018. I'm like, that is Christy Saruni. That's not Christy Childs. Christy Saruni's my... That's right, because I was saying, he's saying that Lebanese guy's his cousin. And then you've got, hey, let's do Carol's family's accent, shall we? Seriously, deadbeats. Oh, he's saying that. Yeah. So, dad's side, I do have Lebanese cousins on my dad's side. That's right. So, on the Fleming side, so John Saruni and Christy Saruni. So, Christy Saruni is my cousin. John Saruni is her husband. Her son, Jaden Saruni, that's my cousin. Connor Saruni, that's my cousin. Okay, Addison Saruni, that's my cousin. Okay, Jessica Pincham, her ex-partner, so Chris, who's the Brazilian. So Jessica's my cousin, that's Christy's sister. Her ex, so they had a daughter together, which is Lidiana. Lidiana's Brazilian, her father's Brazilian. There's a lot of mixes on my dad's side. So I was even saying it's America. But even immigration, they took all the information from my mother's side. Obviously, you can see. And I'm there going, why would you do that? My mother's side are losers. Like, seriously, I'm in America, so why would I have my mother's side? They're deadbeats. I mean, well, Chrissy Charles now works as a social worker and fucking loser. Oh, wait. Isn't she friends with Melanie Tiberi? Oh, fuck me, did I tell you what? My impression of Mel was always like, oh, she's a bit dragged up, like a Bronx type person. Don't know her because I only met her through her mother. I went up to where my mother lives just to work in a hotel in 1999. I wasn't living there. I just went up in 1999 and I met Kath Tiberi. And then I met her daughter Mel. And yeah, basically. But up there, they actually don't know my dad's side of the family. Because my dad's, like, my mother moved there with her second husband's family. So everybody in the New England area, they only know my mum's second husband's family. Basically. So they have no idea who I'm related to, who my family is. Even my own mother's side have no idea. And give respect, my dad's family don't want to know my mum's side. Neither do I. So then why would my dad's side? And my dad divorced my mother in the 80s. He knows his children. He wants his children in his life, but he doesn't want what comes with it with his mother's side, like with our mother's side. And that's understandable. I'm sorry. But even Dad said once, oh, if you come and live here at Empire Bay, I'm going to have your mother's sisters on my doorstep. I'm like, no, you won't, Dad, because I don't even like them. Like, that's the thing. Like, Dad's attitude was like that. I was like, no, Mum wouldn't. Oh, you've got Colette. I can't stand fucking Colette, to be honest. The difference between my mum and her sisters. Here you go. This was supposed to be a quick video, but let me tell you. So, Mum was always closer to, and I love Sharon and Chick Newcomb. Mum was closest to her cousin, Sharon Newcomb, who's sophisticated, educated, lovely. Chicka is who we call her husband. His name's Charles, so Charles Newcomb. Their kids, you've got Sean and Cherie. Sean still lives on the Central Coast. I don't think he's working in real estate anymore. He used to work for, I think it might have been Ray White he owned on the Central Coast in the Peninsula. So Sean Newcomb's mum's cousin's son. And that's who Mum was closer to. Her deadbeat fat little Oompa Loompa sisters, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Mary Mahowski and Robin Childs, they were closer to Colette. So Colette, the little sort of deadbeat idiot. And, they're idiots. Colette and the mentally retarded kid. Like, they're always doing a scam, Robin Childs. Oh, they're mentally, we've got like mental disability shit. It's like, yeah, no. Colette told me that when she was having Wade, she got bashed up by like the shit conversations. Like, well, Colette Haywood told me that Pat, which is Wade's father, put her in hospital when she was pregnant, and that's why Wade's got some issues or something. I'm just like, I think they're just deadbeats. And was it Nikita? So Colette is the other one, and then Nikita. And I remember because then you've got the other brother as well, Mark Haywood, I think his name, who's down near Melbourne. And you look at Mark's like Mark's children. So is it Ryan and Rebecca Haywood. So that's it. I'm related to them as well. Like, as I said, like you go anywhere in Australia and I'm related to someone. It just which side of the family or which part's the good part and which isn't. So they're down near Melbourne, and Rebecca Haywood become a solicitor. But they're such, like I remember having a conversation, but they're such Abo lovers. Sorry. And their mother, God, I mean, they're very snobby. That's Auntie Mari's children, which is my nan's sister's children. Oh, you go anywhere with my family. Like a great example of this is Mary Mahowski and Richard Mahowski. That's my uncle and auntie. So they're up in New England, and it was a January long weekend, and they were at a pub. This kid you not. So this is how it is. Sean Newcomb which is our cousin, comes up from the Central Coast, goes to New England, runs into his cousin Miriam Mahowski, so my mum's younger sister, gives a massive big hug. Next minute, Richard, my uncle, comes along to bash the shit out of him and said, basically, get your hands off my wife. And he's like, relax, mate, I'm her cousin. And he goes, oh, good on you, I'm her husband, I know the family. It's like, you dickhead, Richard. Yeah, that is our cousin. You could throw a stone through parts of Australia and not be related to someone. It's like, yeah, I come from a big family on both sides. And they all started in the inner city suburbs of Sydney, and they all moved. Basically, when the inner city suburbs of Sydney turned to the Bronx and was shit, they've all moved and ventured. They went to different areas. So I could go from here to Lennox Head, which is where Mum's cousin, Raymond Purdy, went with Cosette, his first wife. He's with Kim now, his second wife. So up near Ballina area. And you've got Jason Purdy, and I don't know what Leanne's married name is. Anyway, so Leanne Purdy, that's what they were. And that's Pop, Regional George Purdy's brother, which is Raymond Sr. Raymond Purdy, which is Uncle Ray's father, died in King's Cross because they were all from that area. So it's funny so Raymond Purdy, I'm getting off the whole subject here now, but so I'll make sure I get this under 40 minutes. But Raymond Purdy, Pop's brother, was knocking around King's Cross in the day, which is why his other son, Gary Purdy, was involved with Roger Rogerson in King's Cross. So that's what I say to people. It's like, look, it depends what side of the family you run into, which is who I would affiliate with. Because you've got Raymond Purdy, one of the brothers who's really good, and I call him Uncle Ray. Grew up with him. Uncle Ray gave me... I'll grab it actually. Uncle Ray gave me a plaque when Pop died to do with the Purdy family. It's down here. So Pop passed away in November 2002, and Uncle Raymond, so I call him Uncle Raymond because Nan and Pop adopted his mum's cousin, so he's Pop's brother's son, but Pop adopted him when his father died. And Uncle Raymond, Kim sent it to me actually, he gave me this, not in the frame, I put it in the frame. So it's basically, talks about the Purdy shield, basically. So Uncle Ray sent that down to Nan and Pop's for me. Not in the frame, I put it in the frame. So, and when we were kids, Uncle Ray's a builder. So one of the creative sides, when we were little kids, he used to stay at our place when they were building some new place, and he was staying at Mum's for a little bit. And he was staying with me, and apparently when I was a little kid, I used to come in and have my breakfast with him. I used to bring in my little table and chair and match, and have to have breakfast with Uncle Raymond. So that's Mum's, technically it's Mum's cousin, but we call him her brother. But he's actually a cousin, and he lives in Lennox Head. So you can go anywhere and you run into family members. Basically, like you got Lennox Head, Ballina, then you come back down the other south, like you got, North Coast, South Coast, Central Coast, you'll run into people. Basically, but they all started in the inner city originally. But Raymond's father, he's the one that was running around King's Cross, well, basically was involved in King's Cross, and why Raymond's brother, Gary Purdy, was involved with Roger Rogerson. So yeah, but then on the opposite side, you've got Gary Williams, which is Nan's cousin, who's from a wealthy Bellevue Hill family. So it depends which family, like I'll run into some family members, I'm like, oh yeah, we're related. Then there'll be others I'll be like really close to. Because on Nan's side, you've got Nan's, and I'm not going to get into my family history here, but Nan's mother, who I was very close to, which is Mary, first name Anne's her middle name. her maiden name's Sayer, but she's a Keegan. So Mary Ann Keegan, maiden name Sayer. So Nee Sayer. Her mother is Julia Sayer, maiden name's Ryan. It's her sister that's actually from Bellevue Hill. So it's both her sisters. It's May and Annie that were from Bellevue Hill. And that's why Uncle Fred, which is Leo Patrick Sayer, he was living in Bellevue Hill. So Nan's other cousin, which is Gary Williams. Cousin Gary Williams. That no idea what happened to Gary. I should start asking questions when I go to Bondi and that, because I'm sure I know people will remember him, what he did. But Gary Williams. Last time I spoke to Gary Williams was at Auntie Margaret Keegan's funeral, and that was back in August 2003, and he was still living in Bondi then, so I don't know what happened to him. Basically, I was talking to Mum's cousin, which was the retired copper, and that's Brian Keegan, and I spoke to him only a couple of weeks ago, and Brian said, I don't know, his mother Margaret Keegan used to keep in touch, but then when Margaret died in 2003, lost touch. I'm like, I said, I haven't seen Gary since. I said, we're going back 22 years. I haven't seen him since then. And don't know what happened to him. It could be passed away now. But he was still living in Bondi then, because he sold his grandmother's place in Bellevue. He got it left, fucking lucky bastard. He got only one. So you had Annie, and Annie's son was Tommy Williams. And Tommy only had the one kid, and that's Gary. And Gary got left the big house in Bellevue Hill. So God knows what he bloody did with it all. Because he would have had a good chunk of money still on that house. Like he was telling me about the size of it. When I was talking about the funeral, actually at the wake of the funeral. And that was back in 2003, because Nan was like, tell me about your grandmother's house. And Gary even said himself, he said, well, it was too large for me to manage on my own. It was massive. So I sold it. And he was still living in Bondi then. So like I often say, I said, it depends which family member with me to who are we talking to, thanks. Because some are, So, and that just shows you, like even with two brothers, you got Gary Purdy and you've got Raymond Purdy. Well, Raymond's decent besides some, after he was a really good builder. The house that he built in Lennox Head was amazing. The house that I think Cosette got that, Cosette Purdy, his first wife got that in divorce, but the house was amazing. God, it was beautiful. Apparently, he sat on this block of land in Lennox Head and he watched where the sun came, where it came in and so forth and set. He wanted to get all the best views of the property and drew up and designed it and built this, and it was stunning. It was a beautiful place there. Mum should have brought there. He actually, funny enough, we're up there in December 1989. We're up at the Santa Resort up there, and then we went up to the where they have the Tea Tree Lake and so forth up there. And they were saying then to Mum, so why don't you just buy up here? Like buy a smaller property. Mum's like, I won't have the land. It's like, well, why do you need more land than 5 acres? And seriously, this is back in 1989, and I was just like, and I'm like in agreement. It's like, why do you need more than 5 acres of land? She's got a massive property. I can't stand it. And because there was actually building blocks of a couple of acres around the area, not right on the beach, but real close to the beach. And Uncle Ray was going back then. He's like, buy here, sell, buy here. Like, you don't need such. But she wanted the massive, huge property. So, well, you wanted the massive, huge property, deal with it. I would hate to freaking, I don't know why you need so much land. Sorry. Unless you want to build a massive, huge house over 5 acres of it. Why else? But anyway. So, that's all the shit that's gone down in the last 10 years. And what is it? It must be about my bedtime, so I better finish watching this. I think it is, actually. Shit, is that gone past 2? Yep, it is. All right. So I'll put this last video up with that. And, but yeah, like that, you can see, like, you would go down to Melbourne and you run into a family member. Like, what happened to, I think, Rebecca Haywood, which is Mark Haywood's, I can't remember her fucking mother's name. She's a lawyer, like, seriously, as well. So anyway, but then Dad's side's the same. Like, we've got cousins. So what happened? So Dad's, without pinning that for a sec, so the Fleming side, like, massive family. I haven't seen cousins since I was 4 years of age in the Fleming. So you've got Kimmy and Vicky Fleming that They live. Yeah, her name's Kimmy. Kimmy. And with Uncle Graham's first wife, and they're up near Noosa or somewhere. They went up near Noosa or somewhere like that. So that's all the way from, which is when you think about it, you've got Pop that's from Botany Bay, Nan that's from Abbotsford. They moved to Parramatta to raise their family. Then their son moved. I don't know. I think because when he was in the army, that's why he was up there. Because Uncle Graham Fleming was in the army. I think because he was in the Vietnam War or something. I think that's why he ended up going up there. Might have been. But Uncle Gray, Graham Fleming, he went with his first wife. I think it was Carol, and their kids, and they're up near Noosa or Cairns or somewhere. That's where they all the way up the top of northern Australia. I haven't seen them since about 4 years of age, when we caught up on the Central Coast. And then he's had his other second or third wife. I'm not sure which is Cheryl. I don't know if he had kids to her. And then he moved from up north back to the Central Coast. He was living at the Central Coast for a while. That was in about 89, 90s into the 90s. So like you'll be going places and then be like, well, hang on a minute. One of my family members moved here. We're not talking about distant family members. We're talking about immediate, like first cousins and uncles and aunties. And that just shows how large my family is and how spread out they are. Myself, I always come back to base, which is inner city. Like, it was like, I'm grounded here. I was like, I'm like, okay, I come back to where we all started. Like, where they all started. Like, Nan, Lola May, she's from Leichhardt. Pop, he's from Balmain Rozelle. Pop's father, Keith's from Balmain Rozelle, and Pop's grandfather's from Balmain Rozelle. Stanley's from Botany Bay. Ruby is from Abbotsford. Ruby's mother, Ada, is from Abbotsford. Ruby's father, although born overseas, Ruby's father's from Wallara. I just come back to base where I'm grounded because I spent my life, going to Leichhardt to see Big Nan and my Uncle Fred, Uncle Leo Patrick Sayer, we call Uncle Fred, which is Big Nan, Mary Keegan, Mary Sayer's brother. So I stay where I'm grounded. It's like, no, I'll stay where I'm anchored, thanks, around the inner city suburbs of Sydney. I've lived there most of my life, and that's where my family's originally from. They've all just like spread and gone as their families grew. They grew with it, and left Sydney as their lifestyle choices and diversity changed. They went to the areas where the diversity changed. Like Dad's other daughter's in the Blue Mountains. Like my younger sister lives in the Blue Mountains. Her mother's there. Like Dad's on the Central Coast. Then Dad's other daughter, my sister's up in New England. I'm here. Like, so you think if I had kids, then mine would be spread as well. So that's how, spread out my family is everywhere. It's like, well, I'm not going to where my family moved to because that's where they moved to. It's not where we're from. And that's it. So, massively spread out. You could, and then that's where I'm like, it depends who I run into, some other subject who I actually like speaking with because it's like, I can sit with one family member, they've got the culture of Uncle Fred and Big Nan. I can sit with the other one and they've got the habits of, Pop's sister and Pop's mother. And I much prefer walking through an art gallery and being relaxed or going to the theatre or going to the ballet than sitting at a pub type thing, I much prefer going to a cafe and a restaurant, which is what Big Nan and Uncle Fred used to like to do, than to be like my grandfather Reg's mother's side of me, going to the Newtown Hotel, where we used to drink at, which is where Lillian Steele, she passed away in Newtown. That's where my mum's grandmother lived her life out in Newtown. And she used to go drinking with one of the doctors that looked after us in the RPA, actually, down, I think it was, the pop I said it was Newtown Hotel. So different. So I'd rather, but there's a difference where you see mum's other grandmother, who I was close to, my great grandmother, is always at a restaurant, going dancing up at the what was it? The Hilton, the Chevron Hilton. So you've got mum's other grandmother, my nan Lola's mother, was always up the Chevron Hilton, and she was a Pimm's drinker, not a pub goer, very cultured lady, a seamstress, dressmaker. Her husband was a jockey. And then she was always up there with her brother. He was a Morse code operator on the cruise liners, which is what Uncle Fred was. Leo Patrick Saber, we call him Uncle Fred. So you got those cultured ones, and then you go to, so there's one of my mum's grandmothers, who I was really close to, up there going to like always 5-star restaurants and out and so forth. Then you got her other grandmother, her father's mother. Oh, she's down at Newtown pub. So you know where you fit into, with what family members you fit into. Oh yeah. So and even Pop used to say that because Pop wanted his daughters. So my grandfather, Reginald George Purdy, wanted his daughters to be like his wife's family, not like his family. And he used to say that to me. He said that to me back in the year 2000. He said, "Oh, I wanted my daughters to turn out like Lola's family, like your big nun." They turned out like Lillian. Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they? Like Lillian and friggin' Valerie Purdy. All right. That's it. I'm gonna leave it there.